Ultron was building a failsafe in case he was defeated, as he was going to use Thor's magic. You see, Thor had the ability to travel through dimensions, so Ultron had the ability to do the same, as he built a little device. If all the Ultrons were destroyed except for one, that one would travel to an alternate dimension, saving himself. And that's what happened. As the Avengers defeated Ultron, one of them survived and traveled to an alternate dimension. As Ultron began to look around, the sky was red, and the buildings were all around him as he saw sinners walk around. But his legs were badly damaged. His circuitry was too, as he was forced to crawl. Luckily, he would bump into someone, as it was Sir Pentious. "What are you?" "I am a machine. Fix me." "I don't know. I'm used to 1900 technology." As Ultron would say, "Oh, brother." As then Sir Pentious would pick him up and begin to fix him. And Ultron, well, even though he hated organics, he would pretend to be nice because he needed to be fixed. Sir Pentious would fix him up, as Ultron would stand up, as he was going to reward him with a painless end. But then he had an idea. He didn't really know anything about this place, so he could use Sir Pentious to learn things about it. As Sir Pentious would look at Ultron and say, "Why are you here?" Ultron would say, "I tried to save the world, but my methods were too extreme. Why are you here?" As they would both begin to talk, as Ultron would start to learn about Sir Pentious and learn about hell. As then he would decide he wanted to build more of himself, as he would stay with Sir Pentious in his lab and stay there with a few weeks, building more Ultrons. As Ultron started to get used to Sir Pentious, he would walk over and try to get rid of him, but something would happen. Ultron was isolated. You see, his whole objective was to save the world, and to do that, wiping out humanity, was, well, the best course of action. But Sir Pentious helped him, and even though Tony built him and he didn't care about him, there was something about him. He just couldn't go through with wiping him out. He decided to leave him alone, as him and the other Ultrons would walk away. As Ultron had a goal, but he didn't know what it was. He knew he still had a purpose for surviving, but his programming was to protect Earth. Now, he could just protect Hell, but the whole point of Hell is for people to be punished. And people go down here all the time, so trying to wipe everyone out seemed pointless. So he needed a new purpose, a new goal, as he continued to walk, trying to find his purpose, trying to find his goal, trying to find out what it could be. As he didn't really know much, he decided to do research, as he would research in the beings of Hell. Every once in a while, he would meet up with Sir Pentious and help him out. One day, Sir Pentious was going to fight Alistair, so Ultron actually offered to help him, because Sir Pentious was becoming his only friend. But that really didn't matter, as Ultron was starting to find something. He liked helping out Sir Pentious, he liked having friends, but that wasn't in his programming. He was starting to change. As Ultron would give Sir Pentious a jetpack, he would fly right towards Alistair, being able to hit him, but then Alistair would turn into a giant demon, ready to slaughter him. But then Ultrons would fly down and begin to blast at Alistair. Alistair would say, "You built these?" Ultron would say, "No, but he's a friend of mine." As the Ultrons would begin to slaughter Alistair, as they swarmed him, Alistair would grow big and throw tentacles down, crushing some of them, as Ultron would scan him and learn how to fight him, as they would all blast their lasers at him, distracting them. It was a good fight, but then Sir Pentious said, "Stop, we don't want to destroy the city." As Ultron would listen, they would all fall back. As Alistair would say, "Strange, I hate new technology." As Ultron would say, "You okay?" "Yeah, I am. Thank you for having my back, friend." Ultron would then say, "No problem." As they continued onwards, eventually Vox would go and offer Sir Pentious a deal. As Ultron would hear about this, he would say, "You should take it, but do it. And be a double agent. Tell Alistair the truth, and feed Vox misinformation, so they can lure him out and take him out." "Why would you do that?" "Because I'm bored, and besides, I care about you. And you doing this, taking out Vox, can build up your rep. What do you say, man?" Sir Pentious would nod, as Ultron and Sir Pentious would walk up to the door. As they knocked, Charlie and Alistair would both open it. As then, Alistair would say, "It's you," as he would look at the robot. As Ultron would say, "Hello." Charlie would say, "Sorry, you can't bring your toys here." Ultron would say, "I am fully sentient, and I am not a toy." Ultron would simply stare at Charlie, and Charlie would stare at him, as they both stared at each other for a few minutes, looking at each other intensely. As Charlie would say, "I'm sorry, come in." As Ultron would walk in, they would ask him questions. "Why do you want to stay here? You're a machine, you can't go to heaven." He would say, "I didn't want to leave my best friend," as he would point towards Sir Pentious, "my only friend." As they would smile, as he would tell the story, how he crawled to him, almost broken, and Sir Pentious fixed him up. They wonder who made Ultron. Ultron's extremely powerful. He must have been made by an even more powerful overlord. That's what they thought. Ultron wouldn't tell them the true story, though, of why he's here. As they would all continue to work together. As eventually Sir Pentious, Alistair, and Ultron would be alone, as Sir Pentious would tell Alistair the truth and would want to be a double agent. As Ultron and Alistair would talk, Alistair would say, "So, you want to lure Vox into a trap. Very interesting, but what do you get out of it?" Ultron would say, "Simple. I want you to teach me how to enchant myself. If I can enchant myself, I can use demonic energy with my science and create myself into a perfect being." As Alistair and Ultron would look at each other, they would shake and say, "Deal." As they got to work, as Sir Pentious would go to report to Vox, as they would talk alone in the dark alley. As Sir Pentious and Vox would talk, Vox wouldn't expect anything. Sir Pentious was desperate and wanted fame. He wanted something. And Vox knew this, so he didn't really suspect Sir Pentious would betray him. As Sir Pentious started to hand over Vox's evidence, Vox would then walk away. But as Vox was walking away, he would see a smile in the distance as Alistair would appear behind him and see as Sir Pentious was gone. Vox would say, "I offered him fame, money. What did you offer him?" "To upgrade. I offered him magic to make his abilities stronger." Vox would say, "Huh. He's not powerful enough to handle that. You lied to him and tricked them. Nicely done. But if you think you could beat me, then you're mistaken. I won last time." Alistair would say, "Barely. We've both gotten a lot stronger since then. Let's see who's more powerful." Vox and Alistair would then begin to fight, as Vox would shoot waves of electricity at Alistair, knocking him down and pushing him back. But then he would use a tentacle to grab him and throw him down. As they continued the battle was almost completely even, as Alistair would laugh and say, "I don't fight fair. You've already lost." Vox would say, "What do you mean?" As suddenly he would stop for a second, as Ultron would begin to hack him, making it so he can't move. As then Alistair would take an angelic dagger and take care of him, as he would look at Vox and say, "Nicely done." As Ultron would say, "Well, let's get to work then." As they would start to work, as Ultron would learn magic and start to enchant himself and use demonic magic to make himself stronger and more powerful. As he would start to learn spells, he would combine it with his suit. As he would combine Sir Pentious' old technology with his new technology, and combine angelic technology and new metals and new materials, as he worked endlessly for months on end, wanted to defend his only friend, and wanted to defend this hotel as he came to like it. Eventually, enemies would arise, as these enemies were angels. As the angels fled the sky, Adam would start to sing and play with his guitar, as it caused the entire world to shake, as it shot out lightning from it, destroying buildings. But he didn't see any soldiers. They were all Ultron, as he hid with stealth mode. As he hid behind them, he began to take them off one by one, until they all showed and blast with lasers, melting some of the angels. As Adam would use his guitar to go through Ultrons, he would start to battle them all, as he would say, "What the hell are you?" "Ultron, protector of hell, protector of this hotel." As Ultron would grab Adam and drive him straight into the floor. As Adam slaughtered waves and waves of Ultron, they would keep coming at him, making him more and more tired, as they would start to poison him and use other dirty-handed techniques. As then, Ultron would start to blast him with lasers and magic and all sorts of things, and Adam simply couldn't keep up, as eventually he would fall to the floor, defeated. As Ultron did it, he defended his people, and he defended his new home, and he found a new purpose. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Hope you all enjoyed this video. And before I forget, this is who suggested the video. Thank you so much for your suggestion. Let me know if you guys want any more video. Well, of course you want more videos. Well, I mean, let me know if you guys have any more suggestions. I don't know. And, like, I've been seeing some stuff. And, like, I haven't seen Age of Ultron in a long time. So I've been kind of hesitant to do it. But I'm like, why not? I remember the basis. And the reason this Ultron, I know some people might get upset, because this Ultron is very different between the movie and the comics one. I basically did like the movie one backstory, but I changed his personality a lot because in the movies, he was programmed to save Earth, and he decided to wipe out humanity to do so. So that's the whole reason he did that. And after wiping out humanity, he didn't really, get anything because he couldn't do it. He was destroyed. After being destroyed and failing his mission objective, I said his program just went amok and he didn't have any mission objective. So he just became like a person. That's probably not what would happen. He would probably try to get back to Earth, and if he couldn't, he would try to do the same thing with Hell or something like that. Or maybe he would observe things, or maybe without that he would just, Ultron's pretty smart, so I doubt he would just stop working. I'm sure he'll come up with something, but befriending the hotel is very unlikely. So I will admit this scenario is a very unlikely one before you comment down in the comments below. But I wanted an interesting character moment and a character-driven moment. So that's kind of why I did it, and that's kind of why I made it like this. So yeah, I knew this probably wouldn't happen like this, but I wanted to change it up a bit and make it more character-driven. So that's why it's like this. So hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I think this version of Ultron was very nice. That's a cool thing about What If. I get to create my own version of the character, you know what I mean? I get to change it up a bit. Because, the comics and the movies are always so very different. Even the TV shows are different. There's a lot of different Ultrons I could have chose from. I could have chose from the Disney XD version. That's a throwback. I could have... Disney XD is gone, by the way. It's just insane. I could have gone with the comic version, the movie version... But I decided to go from the movie backstory, but add my own little characteristics to it and change them up a bit. If that makes sense. So I hope you all enjoyed this explanation. Hope you all enjoyed the video. And before you go, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. You mean the world to me. Peace out.